up, players? Welcome to Completely Consensual, Chiptooth Gaming's weekly conversational nerdy news podcast. Yep. I'm your host, Mike Doherty, and alongside me today is that sweet Tambo Pie, the producer, Tambo Vlogs.
What's up, guys? What's up? Him and his sweet.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's the first time Tambo's on camera without his glasses and also
glasses
on
too.
the podcast. Like in front of the camera.
Yeah, that's a miracle. First time.
Awesome,
See, I didn't forget you as when you're sitting.
Well, yeah, because I'm like right here, but I'm over there, and you're just like, yeah. So today,
I always forget about him. And the Italian stallion himself, Adam's Ascending creator, director, developer, Nick DiPaolo.
Hola, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm fired up, man.
This is gonna be our Christmas week episode.
Yeah.
So the last episode we did the top 10 games that we're excited for, and now this is just the nitty gritty sit down. Wherever the conversation goes, no news. You see no paper sheets.
Let it flow.
no news.
Letting it flow. Nick, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm fired up. I'm alive.
I can tell.
I'm breathing. I got a lot of passion and drive that I'm ready to release here today. So
super excited. Just remember, get real close to your mic.
I'm making love to it.
Just follow it around. You want to move around? Just follow it around. Tambo, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm doing really good, actually.
Yeah.
Just another day.
Another day, another dollar.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Another day alive, man. It's always a good thing.
So, let's just get right into it. The nitty gritty. The Adam's Ascending Kickstarter is live.
It's live right now.
18 more days, correct?
17 or 18.
Are you just nervous?
I'm not nervous because whatever happens, I'm like, I gave my best shot. And that's what I always say. It's like you did everything you could in life, and that's all that matters. It's more of just now I have to go through Christmas break away from it a little bit. Yeah. So it's like, I want to keep focusing. But I'm not nervous. I'm just been busy.
Yeah.
Super busy.
Dude, I am sure.
Extremely like today it was just like baby on one arm, keyboard on the other, and just like, oh, I got to go to work. And then like right, so it's been extremely busy, but good busy.
Okay, so for those, maybe we have some new listeners. So yes. Adam's Ascending. So let's give a rundown on Adam's Ascending. It's live on Kickstarter right now, so you can go click link in the bio. We've been sponsored all month by them.
Thank you.
So go ahead and click the link down in the bio. Go support $1, $10, $50, $100. Anything helps. $1,000.
Make it happen. We've had some $1,000.
I know. I saw that.
Droppers,
That's
man.
Crazy. Did you know them?
I knew one of them.
That's crazy.
And then I know two of them, and then one of them was just like, does some voice acting, and there's like, I want to be part of this. So I was like, okay,
that's super cool.
So, yeah.
It's crazy that, like, especially in the time that we live in, like, that nothing has been more accessible than it is right now.
Absolutely.
In terms of following your passion, following your dreams, like getting, like, if you make good content, there's gonna be somebody out there who's willing to throw you money so you can do it, which I think is crazy.
No, absolutely.
But
it's crazy, super crazy.
So Adam's Ascending, sorry.
Yeah.
Give us a little rundown. What is Adam's Ascending?
Number one, go to Kickstarter.com and type in Adam's Ascending, and you'll learn everything there. But yes, Adam's Ascending. It's a third-person spiritual adventure about a character named Adam who's been on the search for discovering life his whole life. He's been wanting to find this passion of his and comes across some awesome things and ends up in a cool place, and it's just about exploring, solving, surviving, just to keep it short and sweet. There's some gunplay, there's some puzzle solving, and more than anything, it's about you finding out who you are as a player, as a person in life and in the game, just get people fired up. That's the short. There's a lot more info. I've been just yapping about Adam's Ascending every day, so it's
24/7.
Like, go to Kickstarter.
You got to,
and look everything. All the info's right there. Perfect. So. Yeah, okay. That's a small little pitch.
Absolutely. So, this last month, it's been crazy for you.
Yeah.
Launched Kickstarter.
Got
on the Kind of Funny Games Daily.
Yes.
Or showcase.
That was crazy.
What was going through your mind when you saw your trailer play? Like, how were you reacting as far as you? There are these guys that you look up to, right? That do amazing work in terms of like celebrating the devs, supporting indie games. You make it on their showcase. You get to the part, and they open with you, damn near.
Yeah,
like, you're like the third game, only live action trailer. impressed the hell out of everyone, especially in the chat, like watching the chat. Everyone was just so stunned.
Some Death Stranding.
But yeah, it was very cool. And just to be in that moment and be like, wow, like I have most of the games industry eyes on my game right now watching this.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind right then?
A lot of stuff. I'll say the first thing, I had like a flashback to like a year and a half ago-ish. I was just watching like Kind of Funny. I'm like, one day, this little crappy game that it was in the rough first stages of the process. Like one day, it's gonna get in front of Greg. It's gonna get on the show somehow, some way, and then like to kind of fast forward 2.5. It's probably like 3 years from that thought to seeing it show up there. I was like, whoa. Like it was kind of an out-of-body experience. It really was. It was surreal to just hear these great people I admire say the name
One of our
the
favorite
game.
trailers, Adam's Ascending.
Yeah, like that was. I think for me too, it was just about going, okay, everything I have been doing in a hole by myself got some recognition, and whether I still believe it's super great or not, these other people who are not me saw the potential in it, and that really got me fired up to go, okay, there is something worth building into even more and investing more life into, because it fired. Yeah, so it was just amazing experience. The feed was just flying, and I was humbled because I look up to Kojima as a game developer and his ideas and the way he does things different, and just like Death Stranding. And maybe that's a good thing or a bad thing. Who knows about if it's just identified with that right away. But either way, it was just humbling. It's humbling to just be a person who never made games before, who always admired games and loved games, to be sitting and watching something that's part of the industry, to say what I did is in there. That's crazy. You could do whatever you want to do in your life. There's only you who could stop you.
Yeah.
That's it. There's only you that goes, I could never do that. Like in some shape, form, small step, big step, you could get there. And that's what I realized at that moment of, all right, I could be on the Game Awards one day. Like this is not some fantasy dream, whether it's a year, 5 years, whatever. It's possible. And whether it's in the shape of this or the shape of something else, who knows? But these things will happen.
Well, I think that's the craziest part of your story and your journey is, like, whether it is you're making a game, whether it is you're starting a YouTube channel, whether it is you're trying to get in shape, whether it is, like, anything that you set your mind out to and you really focus on and you really invest in yourself, like, you can do it. Yeah. Like we said, like, it's crazy that we live in a time where it's like, yeah, now you got, I was looking at some of the statistics on the Kickstarter page. You got people from Norway, you got people from like Germany, the UK,
it's crazy.
Like throwing money at your game, being like, I'm behind this. Like, and that's what we always said as like Chiptooth Gaming. It's like, yeah, we're not big, but the fact that we have, a handful of people that listen to us like front to like start to finish every week, like, it's humbling, and it's crazy that like the internet has allowed us to do that. And like we're the first generation of people to kind of experience this
first
kind
of Gen 1, man.
Yeah. So God, it's just so cool. And like, as far as so you're on the showcase, your Kickstarter's live. Where do you go from here? Like, what are you really focusing on now in terms of getting this thing funded, getting support behind this thing, getting this in front of people's eyes? Like, what's your kind of game plan, your strategy?
One is obviously consistently posting updates to remind, because there are still a lot of individuals that still want to give and are still holding off and really just trying to reaching out to everybody and to really pass the vision of what this game's trying to be to those people, to say this is worth investing in. It's not going down the drain. It's being built into something special. And I even had, I can't name names, can't name companies, but I've had individual who's to me personally at the best of the best in sense of companies, does the best stuff there, amazing. I don't even want to say what he does, but does what he does amazing. And these people have reached out to me saying, I want to help. Like, I want, like, that clarification made me go, wow, okay, there's something here, and that's what I'm trying to spread to people of trying to get this thing funded, and I guess it's just reaching out to people with deep pockets, people with anything they could give, and it's not just about funneling money, it's just about
trying to get this thing up and going.
Yeah, to get this thing up and going so we can build a God of War one day. That is on the horizon. That's no pun intended. But,
I was about to say
to build a horizon one day. But like that's where it all starts, man. Like Insomniac started in a garage, if I recall. Like they were
Naughty Dog.
Yeah, Naughty Dog. Yeah, it's like
both of them. Yeah,
it's like these Microsoft, Apple. They all started in a garage. Like they all started in the real brick wall background.
Thank you.
Like,
Very real. 100%.
Very real.
This is where all these things start, and it's just about passing that vision to others and having those people want to come on board, whether it's financially, whether it's with their talents and abilities. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. Just continue to reach out. We got a small indie team that's about to write an article, so they're reaching out to everybody, people at Kickstarter, people at big company, small company, journalists, everybody, to try to get the word of mouth. And hopefully we're going to get Adam Ascending on the front page, featured very shortly. We'll see. That would be
Kickstarter?
huge. Yeah.
God, please, guys, tweet
please.
at Kickstarter.
Yes.
Right now.
Right now.
Anybody who is listening, I'm talking about the hardcore, Hail Destroyer, Adam Woodstra, Yanni, all you hardcore fans out there, David, go and tweet. Forget the big red thing I said a couple weeks ago. Go and tweet at Kickstarter and say, hey, at the Paulo's game, at Adam's Ascending should be on your front page. Like,
Absolutely.
go do that.
Yes.
Go put that energy.
Please,
guys. So show them that even though we're so small, we're such a small channel, that we can make that kind of loud impact and make that change happen. Please go do that for Nick.
True.
Absolutely. Please just spread the word, spread the love, and get the word out. Like, anybody who sees this, tell everybody else. And that person, tell everybody else. Just keep spreading it and get it on the front page. Do everything you possibly can.
If you can't donate $1, retweet.
Yes,
Just a retweet.
Spread the
Just do it
love.
real quick.
It's that
Retweet.
easy.
Yes.
How hard? And that's the thing that I feel like people are so short-sighted on, in terms of like, oh, like I don't have the money, like I can't support it. This is a cool project.
Absolutely.
Or like a retweet's free, guys. Like a retweet, a like, and adding someone, like it's literally it's free. It takes 2 seconds, and I feel like that's something we've really lost in our like culture, internet culture.
Yep.
Is like it's that famine mentality of like, oh, my time, like I gotta save my
I can't
timeline. Like,
retweet.
oh, I can't, even other developer who has
Just
another
retweet it. We
Kickstarter,
all
oh, I
know
can't
you
retweet just because I gotta focus on my kind of thing.
Yep.
It's like, no, like all high tide rises all boats. Like, it's so easy to just quick retweet, and then cool, maybe somebody who does have the money could support it, and kind of add and build and get the word out there. So it's so important. Even little things like that are so important.
No, it is. And I just want to say to anybody, I've had this comment to me too before, where I've had people say, oh, I love indie games. If you love indie games and if you truly have a passion for games that are innovating and trying to change things, and developers, and for our industry, go find Adam Ascending and help bring this thing to life.
Put your money where your mouth
Pretty
is.
much. Yeah, pretty much. Because in the end, retweet. That's super important, and get the message out. But yeah, if we care about what we do, we go buy Spider-Man to show that developer we want another one. We go buy God of War. Obviously, the product has to be good, but in different situations, especially with indies, it's like support. This is how we get new ideas. This is how we get new types of games. This is how we get Journey.
And I want a lot of people to actually think about this too, because this is just a foundation of a one-man team. So like what actual funding can do,
yes, absolutely,
is take that foundation, which is already a fucking phenomenal idea, and it's such a cool concept for a game. It could take that and really bring a whole nother level to it. It could, just in terms of the art, the programming, like take it so much off, and that's just what a one man has done. So if you get like a small team working on this game, like you guys aren't gonna regret it. Like it's gonna be phenomenal, and like it's just so cool to see. Like seeing this catch attention, seeing IGN talk about. I remember when GamesBeat did the article on it. I was like,
what?
This is really cool. I'm super proud of Nick.
Hey, and it's kind of hard too because it's so many things are happening that you can't really even like soak it up. It's just like you're moving forward, but everything that's happened has been absolutely amazing. And yeah, support this because I have people and developers at Ubisoft who's approached me like, I want to help make this game. Like, this game's awesome. That's what this Kickstarter does. So I could go, hey, Mr. Ubisoft, like, you want to help with this? I could help you. I could pay him, and I could have this project. Like, and I'm sure he'll do it from the bottom of his heart, but I want to invest in these people.
It's always the same.
I want to invest in these people because they're investing in me, and they deserve it. So that's what all of this is about. It's not about getting funding to go buy a house and just be like, like it's about building a studio and building a group of people that want to change the world.
What's like the number one thing you've heard out of this?
Positive or negative?
Both.
I want to hear both.
So in which sense though? About negative about the game?
Just
positive about the
now
game?
that there's eyes on the game in general. What has been like the number one thing you've heard, positive and negative? Like just the number one comment or
I think negative is always first. Negative would probably be I've had a lot of people approach me like frame rate's horrible. It's like, one man dev, man. I'm trying to make it happen. And it's
pre-alpha.
It's dude, that's the best thing ever. It's like we as gaming, I say we because we're all in this. Like as a gaming society, dude, we nitpick things to like I know maybe we're different audiences, different markets, but we need to understand the process of creating. It's like when everyone destroyed Insomniac for the puddles. It's like, dude, they're just building a game. Like it takes time to flesh things out and to do things. And the same thing with the Spider-Man skin recently. Like it takes time to do these things. So yeah, I think that's frame rate's bad or this is not working properly or that's not working. Like obviously there's all little things that I'm learning every day. So I'm super grateful for all the feedback. Honestly, negative or positive. Positive, I think has just been overall general like, wow, I can't wait to play this. Like this is that's super cool. I'm so pumped to play this. Like to hear someone go, I can't wait to play this. That's so cool. It's like, you can't wait to play this. It's not even done yet. Like wait till next year. So it's I think that's the momentum of all the positive. It's all been focused on that. It's like, this looks so different. A lot of even people watching, I saw a lot of people live streaming the showcase and they're just like, this is super unique. This is amazing. Like they piqued my interest. Like that's, if people could get their interest piqued from a live action in like 30 seconds of gameplay, there's something there, and obviously there's the other end of it who doesn't want to see live action, but it's cool.
You can't please everybody.
No, you can't
please everybody. There's gonna be people who are like,
absolutely,
yeah. Well,
and I just want to do something different. That's what it is for me.
And
like, I'm so
and
tired of the same.
Exactly, and it stood out. And like even like the kind of funny guys in terms of like seeing it like, oh no, this is gonna be like a disaster, and it wasn't. Like your live action trailer was really good. Yeah. And like I said, you can't please you can't please everybody.
And it's like I'm just having fun right now, honestly. And it was really cool talking about kind of funny guys. I went to the WWE TLC pay-per-view.
I saw that.
And so I was there with my pop, so I walked down to the ringside, and I was like, oh crap, I think that's Greg because he was tweeting. So I was like, I think he's over there. So I went to go say hi to him. Dude, super nice. Him and Tim really gave me some more encouraging words about the game and what they're super pumped. So stuff like that. From either them, from the people who are investing already in the Kickstarter, just gets me so amped up. Like I'm fired up because there's information now coming to me, whether it's negative and
live
positive
feedback.
Yeah, it's not just like me sitting in a room. Yeah, so it's fantastic. Either way, whatever with the Kickstarter, I think we're gonna reach the goal. It doesn't matter what it looks like now. I truly believe it's gonna happen, some shape or form. But it's just been an amazing experience of just seeing people like it. Yeah. And I just keep telling myself, I'm like, dude, okay, there's this many people who invested in this. Like,
I think you're like,
cool.
You got a good chunk of people. And then on top of that, all it takes is a movement to a front page. All it takes is something getting picked up.
Honestly, it really is 100%. So we'll see. You guys are going to make that happen. So make it happen. Cheers to you.
So what's been the biggest thing you've learned from this whole process in terms of like, like launch. There's someone out there making an indie game right now, right? And they're looking at you. What advice would you give them in terms of like what's the biggest challenge you've had to face? And 2, what advice do you have now that you've launched a Kickstarter on launching a Kickstarter?
Yeah. I would say everyone's going to always tell you prep and get prepped. Dude, you could prep all day long, and you could be like, I'm prepped and feel 100%, you're never going to be prepped. So the advice I would say is just do it. Like, do what you have to do, get it all planned out, but just do it. Pull the trigger on whatever you're trying to do, because once you pull it, that's when the live feedback comes, and then that's where you grow as an indie dev, as whether it's like, oh, I'm going to take my horrible demo to a meetup and let people test it. Do it. Like, that's what gives you feedback. Whether it's like, oh, don't go the Kickstarter, or the game's not ready for a Kickstarter. Dude, it's never going to be ready. Even if it is, the game's never done. So it's like, even if you do it now, you learn so much. And so I would say the words of encouragement is like, keep your goals, stay on track, stay focused, set deadlines, reach those deadlines. Like, we had deadlines for this Kickstarter and the video like 2 weeks before, and it's like all those deadlines were in place months prior.
Yeah.
And just do your best. That's all you could ask for, is like, do the best you can, and through that the next door opens, whether it's the exact door you're thinking you're going to go through or even a better one. The point in life, I always say, it's like, in life, you just do what you're supposed to. You do your calling, and yeah, you're trying to get somewhere that you've had in your heart and soul for a long time. But because you're doing it, you'll be surprised at what doors open because you're doing it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to have 1,000 people wanting it or loving it, or it just needs to be you doing it.
Yeah.
That's it. So just do it.
I mean,
Just like Nike, just do it.
That's what's hard. And I know we've talked about this before, but in terms of like I always admire your drive in terms of like what you balance and how well executed like your balance is in terms of, okay, wife, this is playtime, this is work time, this is Kickstarter time, this is game time, like this is everything. And it what's one thing from meeting you day one, I've always respected about you is your time management and your grind, your grit. Like, I've always respected the hell out of that, and like that's one thing I've always struggled with in terms of like motivating myself, and then like just that balance. Like, it's so easy to get lost in like the wave of life, and like you just handle it like a champ.
I hope so, but yeah, I appreciate. It's humbling to hear that, and it's funny because even in the negative feedback I've gotten from people, they'll still be like, "Holy crap! I'm sure you've been putting like so much time and you made this amazing. Here's some more negative, but I know you're killing it and doing everything you possibly can to make it happen." So to have you reaffirm that, I appreciate it. And you just have to, man. It's like,
I think that's what makes you grow.
Yeah,
that's really what makes you grow. Like
that uncomfortable.
Like the uncomfortable of taking those negatives and making it into positive. Because if somebody
absolutely
notices it, more people could notice it. Yeah, it's something that's getting their attention. Like, they're really paying attention. If somebody tells you, hey, your frame rate's like sucks, like they're really paying attention to that video. If you wasn't like, they're watching the video. If not, they're just gonna be like, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
That's it.
And it's great because there's things that are being said that I already know.
Yeah, obviously.
And it's like great reaffirm.
We all know
it's reaffirming. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna get to that at this deadline that I've already set down the line. So it's just amazing to even be reassured of like, oh, that thing that popped up in my head, it is right, and I know that needs to be altered or changed. So yeah, it's good. Negative feedback's amazing. It's I always use WWE as an amazing analogy because it's like they always say it's like whether you're a heel, which is the bad guy, or a good guy, as long as you're getting a reaction, you're doing your job. If you're just sitting there as a dead body in the middle of the ring, like, and no one reacts, you're gonna be out of a job.
Yeah.
So the whole point is to get reaction.
That's what Jake the Snake was, man.
Yeah.
bringing up Cobra with him everywhere he goes.
That's what you need right here, dude. You got to bring a snake just in the center of the table.
Wrestling's still bizarre to me, man.
Oh, it is.
I don't understand how anyone.
Bizarre thing, dude. But it's an amazing
I see a
thing.
bunch of grown naked men
Just
roll around
beating
and
each other,
beating each
and
other.
Sweat.
One might have a live snake. It's all right.
Yeah, it's it's an amazing. It's just movies are fake, wrestling's fake.
No,
It's,
yeah,
What's not
I
fake?
get that, but
What's
like,
not fake,
I just think
it's
so
just live
funny.
action soap opera. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's hilarious.
Do you know how many snakes they went through on that
Probably
guy?
a lot.
Apparently, they always died in the airplane. Like, because he'd bring them on the carry-on, so they'd have like a new snake for him, like every
They didn't
like.
even think like, yo, let's pick up the snake when we get to the city. No, it's like, yo, take the snake on the airplane.
Yeah,
gonna
because
die.
it goes up so high, it gets so cold up there.
And it's just
So and then that kills them because they're like
Gee.
a cold-blooded animal.
And they're like, yeah,
I'm
die.
sorry, I'm laughing.
No,
Just the
no,
way-
it's
just the
funny.
way
It's
he
like
said
one of
it.
those things where it's like they'd bring the snake up on the airplane and then get to the thing and like
Oh,
you
dead
think they'd be like,
corpse.
oh, maybe we shouldn't take the snake in the airplane, but like, oh no, well, it's just a weak snake. Let's get another one. Let's take that one up with us.
Classic
That was like the
wrestling.
weirdest story I've ever heard in terms of like, and then they had a snake guy that like sold them snakes. It's very yeah, it's crazy, man.
That guy was in business for a while.
Yeah,
I bet.
Yeah.
dude was weirdo from what I hear.
It's like crazy clown or something.
So what do you do? I sell snakes.
Yeah,
Dude.
he lives in Florida. It makes a lot of
Bet
sense.
he does, man. Gators, snakes, lizards. That's their prime business right there. Fish.
Wrestling, man.
It's awesome. But yeah, I don't even know how we got on.
That's this podcast, man. That's
yeah,
what
that's
this
talking WWE.
podcast will in
now.
the future be.
It was
too.
awesome though. I had a great time.
That's good.
The women are leading the way.
Yeah, they're killing it
They
right now.
freaking- they were the main
WWE
event,
like
man.
lead wrestlers.
I was
Yeah,
like, holy, it was amazing. It was great entertainment. It was awesome. Like people going through tables and chairs. It was fantastic. Like yeah,
Just
screaming.
oh
Like
yeah,
popcorn,
yeah.
like, just going nuts.
It's so
great.
cool. It's so interesting. Like
It's
it
fun.
interests me what people like really.
Have
get
you seen
interested in.
one ever live?
No, I've never been to a live one.
That's what's missing.
I've never
You
been to
gotta
a live
get
one.
one
I'm
there
sure, man.
and just
You
be
get
like,
you get all the adrenaline in one room,
it's fantastic.
all the signs, all the
signs,
naked
crazy
all the
people
naked men in
screaming.
tights.
It's a good time, I guess.
Were you ever a wrestling kid?
I've watched a bit, not a lot.
Yeah, I was never a wrestling kid. I think that's my issue.
A bit of it. I just don't know. Like if you name like 10 wrestlers, I might not know 'em.
Yeah.
I know like the main ones.
Yeah, me too. Not
Jake
see
the
that's the
Snake.
thing. Yeah,
That's
Jake the
it.
Snake.
That's
That's
it.
a,
That's top
I only
number
know that
one.
from a Rogan podcast.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
It's
He was
insane,
awesome.
man.
He was awesome.
But so that's what you kind of learn from
Yeah.
this
I'm
and your
laughing.
like advice. Yeah, no, it's
My
good.
jaws hurt.
I don't know what's. I guess that's kind of a repetitive question in terms of like what's tripped you out about this whole thing, but like.
Well, another cool highlight was IGN during one of their Beyond podcasts, their live ones they
Yeah,
dropped.
yeah.
dropped
Saw you
some-
tweet that out. No, were
yeah.
you watching that when it happened, or was
I
did someone
remember
send
telling
that to you?
myself, I was like, all right, kind of funny showcase happened, so let me watch everybody's
Ears on the media.
podcast like the next couple days and the weeks, and I always do anyways, but I was like, let me really focus on all these. And I'm sure other ones talked about it, but I don't have any time to
Yeah, go and
really
scrub
dive
through 'em.
into it. But that was cool. That was very cool to hear that, so thank you.
Yeah. Jonathan Dorbush.
Yes,
Doing
I
God's
reached.
work over
I probably beat your ear so many times. I'm always like reaching out to him, like, "Hey, check this out! Check this out! Check this out! Check this out! Check this out!" So it was cool to have him, drop that name. So thank you, sir. I'm
Yeah,
humbled.
Adam's sending.
Dropped it.
Adam's
getting
ascending.
the big
yeah.
call-outs.
I was like, yeah, that was awesome. I was like, got a little teary-eyed, so it was good. It's good. Dude, that's what I told the wife. I was like, listen, no matter what happens. Holy crap. Like, I'm a guy who came from Florida 5 years ago, drove over here, chasing the dream of wanting to make a game company, got to make a game, got to have it on a showcase, got to have these amazing people talk about the game. Like, that's an achievement on its own. I'm happy. That's amazing. So I take all that. It's
Now-
just fantastic.
I'm not familiar with Kickstarter, like in terms of like the back end.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've never launched a
Yeah.
Kickstarter, but the 30-day that's a standard Kickstarter, right? You can't.
Yeah,
do
you
you
can't-
pick the time,
You
or
can
do
pick
you?
the time. You can't switch it. I should have went longer, but you can't.
Why? Yeah. So okay, let's talk. Some like logistics here.
Yeah.
Why 30 days?
I think, well, number one, I was like in the heap of the moment and rushing and doing everything, putting everything together. And usually I've done some research and they say, like the longer it's stretched out, like the slower it could get in times. But also, with the holidays, 60 days probably would have been a little better because there's like a little 2-week gap here that's probably coming up, and then it's like the beginning of the next year. But you could do, I think, 30, 60, or 90. So yeah, you can't stretch it out. So that was on the back end. I was like, I want to do 30 days, like get this fire burning hot. And, it's holiday season. People are ready to give and to flow, and people are in the mood. Come January, it's kind of like, I figured too, it's like at the end of the year, new year starts, you're kind of like.
I definitely think you're going to see a bump into January.
I think so too. I think I've heard some Kickstarters really get some nice bumps like at the end, and I have a bunch of people following it, so they're also obviously keeping an eye on it, and maybe they're just waiting.
Can you see who's followed and who's donated?
I can't see who's donated, who's I can't
following
see who's
and
following.
donated?
I could see I haven't dove into it that deep just because of time, but you can't see there's a certain amount of people following it, which is a good amount right now. So I'm like, all right, those people are just holding, maybe like, when I come back from Christmas. So I'm like, come on. So it's pretty cool.
It's
there's
scary.
a lot of tension.
It's scary, man. It's crazy to me that you're I get the mentality of like whatever happens, but cut the bullshit, man.
No,
I know you're like
I want to hit it.
Nervous,
dude. Like
because I'd be a nervous wreck. Like if we ever do a Patreon, I'm gonna be a nervous wreck. That like
he won't sleep for like 5 days.
It's gonna.
You won't sleep for like 5 days.
You don't. You really are like checking everything 24/7.
Hitting the refresh button.
You really are, and you're just like checking. You're like, oh my god, someone gave. Who gave? Like this is awesome. It's interesting. You're really like right now it's at 6,293. It's really interesting to see like you do a post or you do something and you're like, and then you see the number move and you're like, oh, was it because of the post or was it because of something else that someone else saw? Like I know some articles posted the teaser trailer on their articles, so it's like. Is it because they went there and then led? But then it's also I'm getting a lot of information where it's like people who are just visiting Kickstarter. That's where they're finding it.
Fascinating.
So it's like, wow, where are these? Like, you think too sometimes like, oh, the tweeting is making the difference. Sometimes it's just like there's a dedicated fan base of Kickstarters. Like I've had people reach out to me. It's like I've given to this many projects. I'm giving to Adam's Ascending because I believe in it. Here's literally like paragraphs of how you could make things better. These are things I've learned from.
Cool, that's interesting.
Yeah, and they've given me lists like here's 8 Kickstarters that are similar to yours that have done good. Here's 8 that are not like yours that have failed. Like take some things. Like there's people who are just years and years like love being a Kickstarter.
That's so
I'm
cool.
Like,
and you don't think about that, but I'm sure there are like people who go on Kickstarter, look up shit
all
and
day
they go,
long.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. And I think that's so dope that there's people out there who are just like, yeah, I'm here to support shit. So give me shit to support.
If you really think about it, it's like even now after launch, I'm like, where would you find the most unique, crazy, different games on Kickstarter? It's like. You're going to go on the PlayStation Network or Xbox Live and search, but most of those are going to be, games that you've heard of or maybe ones that you've never heard of that are just like copycats of something else. But you go on Kickstarter, you're like, oh, that's unique. Okay. And you kind of want to be part of that journey. Like, I made this happen. I gave to it. I grew it. I'm getting the first beta. I'm testing it out. I'm giving feedback. And then you see it in a PlayStation 4 and you're playing it and you're like, I did this. Yeah. So I think that's the full circle of how good it feels to just give and to see it all come around. So it's there's a whole group of people who are like,
that's crazy,
Kickstarter fanatics, and it's amazing. Thank you for being a Kickstarter. Everybody who gave, everybody who hasn't given, everybody, thank you for just listening. So
just tuning in.
Tuning in.
I mean, and donations help too. So,
yeah.
Give
some donation.
No, but that's just nuts to me. And so with that, okay, so you chose the 30 days. The goal. So 35, correct?
Yes,
35.
35.
So what again, I don't know if this is boring people, but I know I like listening to like the more like nitty-gritty statistics side. What goes into 35 minutes? Like 3,500.
Like 35 minutes.
35 minutes.
I'm like calculating. So recently submitted to GDC and PAX, calculating those things. How much usually they say it's like $5,000 to like get into those places to get a booth set up. So I'm calculating that. Obviously, if that happens, if not, then that goes to marketing. So if you just do that, it's like all right, that's already 10 10 G's, and then you calculate it into paying a few people for contract. That's going to be a good chunk of money.
Yeah.
And then the biggest thing is like stretch goals, but I'm going to see if I could do it with the 35 is obviously you're going to have to pay some fees to PlayStation or Xbox to get it on their platform and to get a dev kit and to do all that stuff and to do testing. So that's where that number comes in. But I'm like, no matter what happens, and I know you're saying like, be the truthful. It's like, yeah, no matter what happens, it's all good, man, because next year the game's going to be 10 times better. It might even evolve and change because of all the amazing feedback I've gotten. And it could be a totally different game and relaunch this thing again. Like, who knows? Like, I'm not going to – if it doesn't reach its goal, like, it's still getting made, man. I'm pushing forward.
You've been doing it for 30 years. It's
Yeah.
not like you're like, oh,
It's like,
well.
all right, and let's go. It's done.
It's over.
Thank you guys.
Like, no, this is still happening. So
You've gotten eyes on it, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's
and I
very
think that was
cool.
I think that was the biggest thing in terms of my piece of advice when you reached out to me about launching was, you want to strike when the iron's hot.
Yeah,
in terms of
I agree.
Of that, and I think.
This guy helped me launch
now
right
that,
here. This guy.
I didn't do anything.
No,
just
you
chuckle
did a
head in the
lot.
chair.
Yeah. You did
But
a
in
lot.
terms of actually striking when the iron's hot, and okay, so let's say worst case scenario, it doesn't get funded, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now you have that hardcore base who did support,
Yeah.
who are following you now, who want
Yep.
updates on the game, and again, it gives you a little more momentum into, okay, so next time you launch, there you go. Again, that's worst case scenario, because I really do think, like, worst case scenario, if it doesn't get funded, I think even if it does get funded in January, you're gonna hear. I think that's when you're gonna hear from some developers or some publishers reaching out, because you gotta think holiday time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Christmas time. So I think
everybody's like shutting down.
Exactly. Once when the New Year's kicks on, it's
Absolutely.
like, okay, let's do this. Let's reach out to Nick. Let's see like what's up with the game. Again, I think you're gonna get a big boost near the end of the year after Christmas into January. We just gotta push it. We gotta push it. We're gonna be pushing this so hard.
No, and I'm gonna throw it out here. If we could get this goal funded, what percentage will go to Chiptooth Game? No, this is marketing. This is marketing money. Like, what is it? It's not like being thrown in the wind. This is marketing money. This is a chunk of the money goes to marketing for a game. So this is marketing. So
appreciate
if we
you.
get this game,
I would not accept the money anyway.
If we get here, I'm gonna write the check. I'm gonna go right here because this is part of marketing, man. And you guys have helped. You are a PR firm.
This is just podcast, man. This is a couple friends sitting down having a conversation.
But if it happens, you guys are always on my mind. Honestly, 100%.
We'll settle for espresso.
Espresso. I was thinking about bringing one, but I was like,
who's setting up for espresso? Can I settle for like a beer?
Yeah. You're gonna have to get Tambo a beer.
I'll take a beer. I'll go get you one.
I'm down to settle for a beer.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cool, and it's just cool to see that kind of movement from this, and just see you go through this and see like the feedback that you give in, and people write articles on you, and it's just
cool.
It's been really awesome to like sit here and watch, but it's tricky because I feel like you're in a good time and also a bad time to launch, to where it can either be very positive or very negative. But I think especially on that tail end of the year, into January, it's like, okay, we're gonna be cooking, and like, I don't know if there's anything that we could do in terms of like helping you, like, I don't know, just get this out. It's just really cool, guys. Share, like I said, retweet's free.
Yeah, retweet, and I think you nailed a huge point there. It's like I could see a whole list of people. I'm like, these are people that are in part of this, and these are people that are part of a mailing list that now I could connect to and reach out, and now are part of this game being
exactly.
developed.
Now
so
you have their information.
Yeah, I got you. Google style. No. But no, yeah, it's. To me, that is huge. And for me, it's like, yeah, I've had people, it's like, oh, you're launching in December. This is bad time. It's like, this is the perfect time because of the showcase, because of everybody that had eyes on it, and that's continuing to grow, and the amount of people I've been able to reach out to and impact because of it. I'm so happy. It's like, dude, I'm just, like you mentioned, it's like I'm starting. This is like huge for me.
Strong
like,
start.
Yeah.
And I think the best sign too is there's growth.
Yeah,
like there's growth in the Kickstarter. Like every time you think it's, dude, I've been clicking every day.
No, I'm
just
seeing
to see
it
where
grow,
you're at.
so I'm like, there's people.
So
there.
exactly, but we got to like $3,000 and then saw kind of plateau and then went up and then went up and then went up. And then went up. So it's been growth there, and it's been nonstop growth too. Every day there's something added to the pot. So I think that's the coolest part, and the best sign for you is the amount of growth that you've seen.
Absolutely. And I think we're gonna have more growth very soon, and make it just uppercut. Like,
I know. I've been waiting for Payday to put in.
It's just like there's a lot. I can just feel it. There's, like you said, after Christmas, there's going to be some great things happening. There's people I'm reaching out to, and I'm just learning a lot about marketing and being a hustler. You know, just like, what's up, what's up? You know, just like just being you and really sharing that story of what you're doing with others to bring them on board. Like, you're pitching yourself. You know, it's like it's and I can't wait though. Now I'm at the point where it's like I've been away from literally from the game for like 2.5 months. I'm doing stuff on it as I go, but it's like I cannot wait for January to hit to just like go back into it. Like, I'm just gonna create and have fun and like flesh this thing out. And I know a lot of people who are very skilled at developing, and it's like I feel honored to be at this stage to even say I'm gonna try it. Like, where some others won't even give it a shot yet because they don't want to put your stuff out there, man. Like, put everything you got, put it out there in the sense of content, whatever you're building, because that's, again, that feedback.
Honestly, and like you said, that's how you grow. Iron sharpens iron. In terms of like doing this channel starting was just like, all right, let's just put some garbage on the internet. And then it's like, okay, how can we get better? How can I learn this? How can I do this? Okay, soundboard. How do you make the soundboard and the mics work? And then the camera. Okay, the camera's not working anymore. What camera do I get?
It's just the beginning of
you build and you build and you build and you get better. And especially with that live feedback, it really helps. So
it's crazy. It's crazy how everything works.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, man. And I just want us to all continue to. I think 2019 is going to be fantastic for you guys. There's some awesome things lined up, and I think it's going to just continue to just snowball effect and just keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. So
that's how it is, man. Everyone's in that growth state, especially us. Like, it's exciting, man.
You guys got.
We're
what
opening
it takes,
a bank account finally.
Yeah, you guys got
like.
You got everything that it takes to do what you have to do. You just got to keep going and going and going. And I always say it's like there's something in brewing in all of us that we all know. It's like, I have this thing, and if people could see it, it'll make a difference. And you got to just keep that in your freaking aimer and just keep going. I got this thing, and I'm going to keep going. And you're going to have so many times where people don't see it and don't see it and don't see it. And you're going to be like, dang. But again, that's when you have to pull your bootstraps up and go. Like, you cannot just be like, oh, I guess no one. If you don't believe in it, then why will anybody else? Honestly, it's like even if those people don't see it yet, you just keep going and going and going and going. Dude, you can't. It's impossible for this right here to not continue to explode with success if you guys keep trimming, if you guys keep building, if you take the feedback and you keep developing and develop. That's what it's about. It's about perfecting.
Well, and that's what you said. As long as at the end of the day we could walk our way with you, with your game, with you starting your channel back up with Chiptooth Gaming. It's like at the end of the day, if we can go, cool, we did the best that we could possibly do.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the set, it's like obviously a more ideal set we could get, but like this is the best that we could do with what we got. Yeah. Like with like Shawn learning to edit, like this is the best that we can do with what we got, and then he gets better and gets better, everything. So it's like as long as at the end of the day we can look at it and be like, we did the best we can do. That's all I can ask for in terms of, and I think that reflects the numbers too, the growth, things like that, and it's just also giving back, lifting people up, and that's the one thing I want Chiptooth Gaming to be a part. We also have some cool things coming up in the air, but in terms of like lifting, like high tide rises all boats. Like like I said, that's why I tell you this every time. Anytime you want to come on, you're welcome. It's because
I'll be here tomorrow.
I want exactly. We're doing it again. It's because I want that everyone to succeed with us. Like I want everyone to succeed
lot,
together. And like when Tambo starts his channel and does his channel, I want that to be lifted up high tide. You know, any of the other creators, Anthony Flaherty out there with Dad's Beards Nerds, everybody, like I want us all to come up and succeed together. So it's like I'm always here to give a platform to whoever. And again, I just like conversation in general. So it's always good to sit down and.
On that note as well, I want to say you reminded me of something that's why I'm building this game. After this whole experience, after being here, after you saying that, I think there's a new generation coming up, honestly, of creators that are not just about themselves, because I'm on this side of it right now. I'm going, man, when this next threshold opens, I don't care about, not that I don't care about, I want the people who no one knows of. I want to help those people. I don't want to just be in a room with people that everybody knows and it's like, oh, you're in this level. When you get to this level, you're supposed to grab those beneath you that are trying to come up and boost them up. You're not just like, oh, I'm going to pick you or you. No. Everyone that possibly has that thing that, you know, can make an impact. And I think there's a new generation. It's right here, dude. It's starting right now in this room with you, with what you're doing, giving me the opportunity to do this. You're not just like, hey, I want this type of person or these type of people. It's amazing. And I think we need to all do that more and more and more. Because like you said, it's going to raise up others to reach the top. It's like when I get to the next level, it's the same thing. I'm going to be looking for, I'm going to be going through Kickstarter and be like, who's this? Oh, there's a solo dev here. Let me give him a shout out. You know, it's like, because that's what it's about. It doesn't help to help others who don't need help. That's pointless. Like, oh, let me go freaking
making the rich richer.
Yeah,
like in terms of just like the
because you get something success from it. It's like that's the wrong. It's like if you got the overflow and whatever, whether it's financial or gifts or talents or a platform, that should be overflowing to the next, because you're gonna get surpassed. It's just Michael Jordan did what he had to do, but there's always someone else. So it's up to you to pass that mantle to bring them up for them to replace you. It's like that's
I think another thing is that you were there once.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how it is.
I know how it feels
to,
now.
Yeah, to be there, how it is to reach out to people. And it's like, you know, maybe they didn't reach out to you because they didn't know you, but you know, just go for it. Just reach out and you never know. Like maybe that person feels generous today, or maybe that person was looking for somebody to help. Like,
or they just vibe with you.
Yeah,
and that's the same thing. That's
just
the same thing with originally when we connected.
Yeah.
It was like reaching out and being like, hey, like,
let's do
like
something.
I want to hear about this game. I want to like that's crazy.
I'm humbled, man. Thank you.
Again, every time you're on, it's crazy how far we've come. But like that's the one thing I never want to be lost in chiptooth gaming itself. In terms of there's too much famine mentality out there. In terms of I can only be the only Kickstarter. I can only focus on my own channel. I can only, and it's one of those things where it's like, no, like I want, and because
cross-pollinate,
looking in, especially, it's like, okay, there's only so many, like it's that mentality of there's only so many slots available to work in the games industry. It's just not true.
No,
like,
absolutely.
especially with the avenues that we have now, it's like, no, there's audiences, and these audiences just, you know, they could listen to multiple different creators. They can donate to multiple different Kickstarters and Patreons and what have
crazy,
you.
man.
And it's like, no, we're no longer in that famine mentality like back in the old comedy days where there's only so many slots on Carson that you can do to go up and do Johnny Carson. And that's like the only real exposure.
Yeah.
And like that is how you made it as a comedian back then. It's like now it's like, no, like it's not just the IGN, it's not just the GameSpot, it's not just the kind of funnies, the Fun Houses, the Rooster Teeth, like the bigger names. It's like cool because now you can Central West, OK Beast, like I can name a bunch of smaller outlets that are growing, and it's not one of those things where it's like they got this much amount of dollars and now I can't get that much amount of dollars or that much amount of support, or you only watch the OK Beast and Kind of Funny podcasts, and it's like, oh, now there's no room for us. It's like, no, there is room to just bring everybody in. We're not famine mentality. Like, we can make our own spots in the game industry. You made, instead of standing around or like trying to get a spot in in the games industry as a developer, you've paved your own way. And whatever comes out of this, either the game gets funded or a developer or a publisher picks it up or whatever comes out of it, it's like you've paved your own way. Like we've talked about this before, but coming from the East Coast all the way out here, not knowing what the hell would happen, not having a job, like one of the most risky moves you can make, right? And it's paid dividends so far in terms of like good things. Like it's just cool. It's just cool to see that kind of story. Like that is the American dream, right?
Yeah, and we were talking about
your own way
before too. It's like sometimes you pave the way and you're trying to get somewhere, but maybe by doing that, something else comes to take you to a higher ground that has nothing to do with what you're doing. So it's like, well, just do it because that leads to the next thing and the next thing. It's like if I never came out here, I would have never met you. It's like I could have never even known of you or even understood I'd be sitting here if I didn't go. So it's like the intention's to go and to move to California, but then there's other things that come from it that are amazing. So yeah, it's stunning, man. It's your words. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I hate that in everything, the famine mentality. Like in terms
bad.
of like if Tambo left and did his own thing, it's like I don't want Chiptooth Gaming to be like a launch pad for like failure. I want it to be a launch pad for success, you know? So it's like I think we need to do better at like lifting each other all up in terms of there's no competition here. Like we can all be friendly. We can all sit down and have a conversation. Like I don't think there's anybody I wouldn't sit across this table with.
That's the way it should be. It's like I don't care who you are. Like let's talk.
Yeah.
Like and that's what's going to continue to
unless
grow
you're weird. Like in terms of like serial.
He's talking about
like
wrestling. Or
yeah.
wrestling. Unless you're Jake the Snake Roberts. Like, don't come here.
Yeah. leave the snake.
Leave the snake on the plane. Snakes on the plane, man. Snakes on the plane. I was gonna say something, but I don't remember now. So,
it's all good.
We're
a mess. We're a dumpster fire.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I have to just speak to my future. That next year, man, Game Awards. That's the next goal. It's
okay, well in existence.
Get the game polished to a beautiful extent, amazing story, everything, and then pitch it to Keely. Keely, I'm talking to you. Let's go.
It's coming for you, Keely.
I'm coming for you. Let's go.
Nick DiPaolo, the Italian stallion.
The Italian stallion right there. Let's do it. No, and that's all it takes, dude. It takes just like setting a goal and be like, I don't care. I'm getting there. It's like you just go.
It really does.
You just go. Why not? Like I met this amazing when I was doing film and documentaries. This amazing eight-time I think or 7-time Mr. Olympia, like beast of his class, and he just said, I think I've mentioned this to you guys before. He just said, I looked at the person who was at the throne and I said, why can't I do that? It's like every day I'm going to just start putting a brick down and like build to where I'm trying to get to. And then eventually he's won it 8 times in a row. And I don't think no one's really, there's only a couple that came close to him, but like cleaned house, like one, you could do it. Why not?
Yeah.
It's like,
why not you? I mean,
why not?
And
it's
look,
like,
why,
I don't
why
have
not
this.
You?
I don't have, like, why? Just go. Just freaking start chipping away.
Just do it.
Chip 2 gaming, man. Chipping away.
Put your head down and you got to grind it out. And I think that is what's so cool about like the time that we live in. It's like why not you? Yeah. Why not you? The listener, the watcher.
There's so much things that you could get out of it. Like there's so many things where you could go do like podcast or like just doing videos. Like just honestly just do it. Like if you don't do it, then you're not gonna know if it does hit or if it doesn't hit. Like without doing it. If Nick DiPaolo never did that, then
yeah. And I always say like do what is really burning in your heart to do. It's like that's how you know you're supposed to do it. Don't just like I'm gonna rant. Like man, I really want to do this. This is what I was listening to something. But Dr. Dre said something like in an interview, and he said. He's like, yeah, he's only been out of the studio for like 2 weeks his whole life or since his career started. And he was like, I would do this if I was a plumber. I'd still be making music and like try because it was just in him. And he's like, all the money, all that stuff comes, but I just do it because I love it so much. And then eventually that love kept going, and the right person saw it, and it just exploded. So dude, it's the same across the board. No matter how much technology and things in different markets, the human spirit doesn't change, and the way to achieve something never changes. It's like, I want to get to the moon. How do you get there? You just keep going. You get there.
You gotta challenge yourself. You can't fly to a moon like in a car. You gotta build a spaceship.
Exactly. It's like I want to get to Mars now. So guess what? You're figuring out ways to do that now. So there's nothing that could stop you but you just have to keep figuring out and hitting negatives and positives and just make it happen. Just like Jake the Snake, man.
Just like Jake the Snake, making it happen. The overall arching theme of this podcast, Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake.
I'm telling you, next podcast, gotta have a snake here.
Gotta
snake.
get his live snake.
Just like
in honor of Jake.
Yeah, just put a name tag
Isn't
on.
there that reptile store down the street?
Oh, that's true. We do
We
have.
should,
We live
dude.
right down the street from a reptile store.
You should just place them right here. It'd be nice. Open.
So I don't know. That snake might be.
Well, and then that's another thing too, and I think I get so much of this vibe from you too, and I really adopted it too. Again, because success doesn't come without failure, right? You're gonna fail 1,000 times, and like not to say like we're at Adam's Ascending now, but you're 2 mobile games before, right?
Yeah.
Not that they were failures,
but
but like they were stepping stones to your success. You're like your failures are the stepping stones to your success.
Absolutely.
And like with the even like the negative feedback, things like that. Like
fantastic.
Bernie Burns said one thing I love, and I keep that mantra today is people say don't read the comments. I say read every comment twice.
Let it soak in. Yeah.
And really take in what, because they're obviously comment, whether it be a troll or not, even if it's a troll.
You'll know if it's a troll.
There is,
like,
even a troll has the slightest grain of truth behind it too.
yeah,
Like, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Like there's always something that we could be working on, or
It's
in
data.
the game. Exactly.
That's what that is. Like comments are data.
And Facebook pays a lot of money to sell that data.
So yeah, grab as much of it as you can and soak it up and learn. And I'm so grateful. Like, dude, the negative is fantastic. Like I always say that. It's like negative. If anybody's physically fit, you have to make your muscles feel negative to make them grow.
Yeah.
Like you got to make
When
them
you're working
hurt.
out, they're sore. They're sore for a reason because they're growing.
So it's like enjoy that soreness in what you're building and what you're love. Dude, I love it. You love it. It's like obviously we're doing these things not because someone's writing $1 million check. We're doing these things because it's our freaking calling,
Love
man.
it. Yeah.
And we're gonna do this. Like I've never felt so passionate and so on the nose of knowing like this is what I'm gonna continue to do. Whether like me and my buddy talk about it all the time. It's like loves telling stories. Okay, whether that's telling stories in radio form or writing a script or making a movie, you want to do that. So that's the whole point. You just keep going till that door opens and you end up going, oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah.
Your dream. That's your dream.
And that's the
Chase your
thing
dream.
too in terms of like the failure thing. It's like, yeah, like we've restarted so many times in terms of like the channel, or like you're going to have a ton of failures.
Yeah.
So use those, grow from those. Like what is overall, what has been your like in your life, what has been your biggest failure?
You gotta give me 1 second to soak this one
Yeah.
out. So in my life, my biggest failure, are we talking about career-wise? Are we talking about, experiences, school? Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, there's so much.
I guess I'll go career, right?
Yeah.
Biggest, I don't know.
Or like something that you were like working on.
Oh, okay. That
Since
like
we're like on that topic of like, you're working on like something, something that's kind of like you felt like, oh, like damn.
Like all this work they put in,
like
nothing
this,
came from it.
And like it really got to you.
I think it was. Oh man, yeah, I think it was trying to doing some feature films and like putting all that you can into it, writing it for a year, filming it, editing for like 2 years, really getting into it, and then like, oh, I want to get into these festivals to be able to open a door to make things happen, and then you don't hear anything back and you're like, dang, like, is it what I created? Is it a piece of garbage or is it good? I spent 3 years of my life. But I would say, yeah, I can't specifically pinpoint one thing or another, but that I could kind of recall feeling just like, yeah. But in that failure was the best thing, because it probably brought me here, honestly, big into this moment, because those failures help you realize in life, they let you feel focus. Like, okay, why didn't this work? Let me readjust. Like, is it me? Is it something I'm trying to figure out that I need to do different? Should I do something different? And it helps you evolve who you are. So even though it's a failure, it's the most successful thing that ever happens to you.
Exactly.
So it's kind of weird.
It builds onto your success.
Yeah.
That's
so
what,
it's like,
that's what's going to get you
whatever happens with this Kickstarter, whether it's a success or a failure to what people think, it's still a success because I've just been able to go, awesome. Now I know this for what I need to build for the game, what needs to be put into it, what I need to focus on more. Dude, it never fails. Like, ever. Failure is a mindset that man has created, but you never fail. It's impossible. Like, oh, I failed my test. Like, well, no, you didn't, because you just learned how to study harder, or you just learned how to, like, okay, I don't want to do that in my life. You didn't fail. You failed in the event, but you didn't fail in what you're trying to achieve. So, sorry to go all positive.
No, it's good. You always are. Nick Paul, you're a breath of fresh air
breath
around
of
here.
fresh air, Mr. Sunshine. But yeah, it's that. That's absolutely that for me.
So what's the dream?
The dream for me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I love the game industry. I know it's in the games. It's in the games.
Blood.
It's in the DNA, man. Like being 3-4 years old, like just tapping away at a controller. Like that's my dream. I love creating. So if it's creating a game, if this game just lines up to be something that where I could have an all-found respect for developers as I grow in the industry and be able to work with them. If it leads to that, amazing. If it leads to publishing, amazing. If it leads to, there's many different paths. So that's why I've learned in life, looking back, doing film stuff, it's like, you can't just go, oh, I want to get here, because sometimes it evolves and grows. But I do know for 100% game industry, it's like AAA, whether it's turning this game into, or this company into a big AAA company, or being part of a AAA company, or just being part of that environment, and to bring in, like, maybe this experience is to bring up other smaller games one day. You know, it's like maybe this is a seed that's being put in me to
maybe
uplift
somebody's
others.
listening to it and they're just like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, that's
like
it.
somebody's sitting
Go do
there
it right now,
just like listening before bed, and they're just like thinking, like, oh, maybe I should have done it.
Yeah, if you're laying down right now and you're thinking,
like,
you're
should I
hearing,
do it?
You're hearing
Like,
my voice
yeah,
right
like,
now.
Like you have that idea of something, of anything. It don't even matter.
Yeah.
Like it could be anything.
And that, I think that's what is so relatable about your story, is because your story is emphasizing games, but it really could be applied to anything. It could be,
absolutely.
Like I said, it could be applied to starting your own channel, your own business, your own, X, Y, and Z, getting a promotion, anything like that. It's like you can really apply your story to anything in terms of like the grit, the hard work, the effort that's into it, the time management. I think that's the biggest. Honestly, I think that's the biggest key to success. Is learning how to manage your time.
Absolutely.
And again, still terrible at it.
You're good at it, man. Just start breaking it down.
Can you make like a quick YouTube video of time management? I need to watch that for sure.
Okay, I'll do
The
that.
time management.
If you guys,
We should. Sorry, and that's one of the biggest things I've heard from your Kickstarter too. In terms of feedback, is the rewards. People really do like dig the rewards because they get what you get out of physical like things that most Kickstarters give you. That one, they're either going to be some piece of garbage made and sent out to you, or two, like it's just going to be take up time and resources away from the game. So it's very cool, like the podcast goal, like access to the podcast, things like that. And it's like, I really do think people care about that, and especially hearing you here, it's like people that should drive the want to be able to get that like tier, because you're a great podcaster. I mean, you're just great like to have a conversation with. So I can only imagine what your podcast would be and how cool that would be.
Maybe
and if you
something
want
we
to hear
should
that,
try.
go support.
Yeah, maybe we should try it, and if you guys support it, podcast tier or up, like it's something I've wanted to do. Like just sit down and talk about my game experience. Like today I worked on this and I sucked at this. It's cool.
Yeah.
This is what I learned. So it's like, I know there's millions of people doing that too, but maybe I could bring something unique to the forefront and make it happen. But 2019's got some good stuff for all of us. So I'm pumped. And
sorry, what were you gonna say before I interrupted you?
No, I don't remember. What were you saying? I'm trying to remember what I was saying.
But the biggest like quote I would say that fits Nick DiPaolo so well, it's from Tupac actually, is I don't want to change the world. I want to inspire the person who changes the world.
It's a cool quote, man.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful.
Should steal
quote.
that.
That's dope.
I'm gonna tat it on
Like
my
I said,
back.
that is like a Nick DiPaolo like quote. I can hear that coming out of their mouth.
No, well, it's
And that is what
That's
Adam's,
what Adam's
Ascending
Ascending
is
is.
about. Like,
no.
in all honesty.
I've gotten that before too. It's. I know I'm onto something because I've had feedback where it's like, what are you trying to achieve? Like trying to bring purpose into people. How are you gonna do that? You know, like. But I know it's an amazing feedback because I'm like, okay, I got something so special that it reaches beyond their understanding. That it's something that I know also that I have to just create and they'll understand when they play it. It's like one of those things that's it's like
the Journey thing. You can't really fucking explain
Yes.
Journey until you sit
You
down
gotta
and you
trust the
play.
process.
it's like
And
Death
you play
Stranding.
Journey. Okay, nobody is ever gonna know what the fuck that game's about.
Even when it
But
comes out.
Journey, it's like, okay, you're this guy and you go through a desert and up a mountain.
Yeah, it's like
Like if you explain it like that, then yeah, it's obviously gonna be like,
exactly.
oh,
It's
why
like, what
would I
kind of
want that
game is this? Exactly.
But you sit down and you actually experience Journey and you go, oh, I get it.
Yep.
Why do I get it? What am I getting? I don't
There's
even know
something-
why
yeah.
I'm crying right now.
There's
Like,
something you
that's
can't
what a
tell
lot of
people.
people are. Yeah,
That's
So,
absolutely that. So, and that kind of actually, I forgot we had some questions. I don't know if we want to.
Yeah, well, first in terms of gameplay, did you want to talk about our story at all?
Of the game?
Yeah, in terms of.
Yeah, it's just to give you, again, a brief play, like just the synopsis.
Well, no,
of-
I'm saying
of the
the
gameplay.
announcement.
Oh,
Did you
the
have an announcement?
announcement. Yes,
Okay.
yes. So
Don't
there
want
is
you
a.
to forget the announcement.
I
Big
was like,
announcement.
He said gameplay, so I was like, what?
Sorry, I meant. Story.
So, yeah. It's not a massive announcement.
Yeah, it's
but
something.
It's
Should be the
it's
exclusive.
story.
Suck it,
after-
IGN.
Yes, suck it. Exclusive. After a lot of feedback that I've gotten from some amazing people, I've decided that we're going to launch hopefully this weekend. I'm kind of setting a deadline for myself, which is scary. But an amazing, we're announcing it here first, an awesome story trailer for Adam's Ascending that's going to be on the Kickstarter page. The main video, we want to just really get across what this game's going to be about, why you are where you are, what it's going to take to get out of there, and who you need to become to make your way back home. So we really want to just emphasize an amazing launch trailer. Not a live action trailer, which was cool. Not a teaser of gameplay, but like an actual story trailer. So we're going to be dropping that very shortly.
Exciting.
It's
So go
literally
check that
being
out.
worked on right now in Australia. We got music being made for it right now.
I think you said this weekend, so it's already out. By the time
Oh,
this
okay, yeah.
launches.
So it's out right now.
It's out right now. Great exclusive.
Exclusive.
I'll cut it out and post this before.
Yeah, we could do that for sure.
Um,
I'm just
yeah,
sorry.
exciting. No,
I'm
you
totally
said
paying attention.
got some questions. Let's see what we got.
I'm actually
Like
gonna go
Adam.
live here for questions.
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 All right, hold on.
Get out of here. I don't want to see
Tombo fill time.
Medias.
What you got? What you got for me?
So
All right.
today for the weather is approximately 50 degrees with no wind,
I like the
Oh, that's
ASMR
beautiful.
tone. Very
That's good
nice.
weather.
with maybe a little smell of weed from down the street from Tambo.
From Tambo, the cloud. Okay, so are you good? Live?
Oop, oop.
We doing?
Yes, we can answer questions. I'm going live here.
All right.
Some questions.
So Adam Wistra asks, "What separates your game from others? How does it stand out amongst the competition?"
So yeah, repeat that question so I could have more time to answer. That's always the trick right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Ah.
it's
Here.
what? Yeah, you want the
There you
square
go.
one?
Thank you.
Try to
Sorry.
get something. I
We're
can get
going
a
live
tripod.
here. Oh, that's good. Answering some questions about Adam's Ascending. Let's see. Brighten this up here so I'm not gonna go blind. Oh, there we go. I'm doing good. We're answering questions about the game Adam's Ascending.
I got you. I'll be right back.
Alright.
Bam. Fill time.
So what was the question? Or should we wait for the question?
No, that's all right. You can answer it in the meantime. It is from Adam Wistra. Adam Wistra asks, "What separates his game from others? How does it stand out amongst the competition?"
So, what separates Adam's Ascending from other games is just the drive to really, plain and simple, I'm so tired of HUDs. I'm so tired of inventory systems. I'm so tired of, like, even games like Red Dead Redemption. It's like, literally big freaking letters on the bottom of the screen. Place the wagon here.
Like
Go
you
here. You know, like
instead of getting told what to do, like you want to do it. Like
we're gonna
like,
show the player
Yeah.
what to do. Like that's what we're trying to do in the game. Oh, sorry, just moving this around. But yeah, that's what we're trying to do in the game is to really emphasize like no HUD. So no HUD meaning the world that you interact with will guide you in the direction. Like you'll see things in the world that will pull you in that direction. We don't want, you know, your life bar to be on, even though right now obviously it's pre-alpha, there is some life bars and things like that in the game, but we want it to just be all integrated into the character, similar to Dead Space in the sense we just want no HUD, nothing on the screen, just clean, simple. That's one way we're going to make it stand out. Objectives, you're not going to see objectives written on the screen. Like we really want the game to guide you in the direction. So I've mentioned that on the Kickstarter. You get hurt, injured, your suit's going to start tearing, you're going to start bleeding, you're going to start limping. That's how you know you're physically hurt. No blood on the screen, no like, you know.
Isn't there a tank too?
There is a tank.
Okay.
There's something that's going to be cool about that. And again, your choices will have consequences. Like you want to take this approach, well, get ready. If you get injured, you're going to have to recover. Like there's
consequences.
Yeah, I don't want you to just go freaking play a game like, oh, I'll find some health bars on the floor and like no, why are we still on these crutches of gaming?
You got to make choices.
Yeah, your choices. So HUDs, inventory, I want inventory to be on the character. No, you know, hold this button to make the inventory pop up, select your weapon. No, it's like if your weapon's on the left side of your holster, you're going to hit left on the D-pad to take your weapon out. And if you have a weapon on the right side, you just hit right in the D-pad. Like it's all integrated into the game itself. So if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I couldn't find what I was looking for.
No,
I'm gonna be
what are you
honest.
looking for?
I was gonna look for like the little tripod attachment
little
for
tripod.
the phone. So in terms of, like I said, this is the coolest way in terms of I kind of explain it to like when I explained it to Kevin from Kind of Funny. Like it's just so
Love you,
cool
Kevin. Love
that
you.
I know.
Love you,
Shout out
Kevin.
Big Kev.
Kevin's always supporting, man.
The two paths in terms of gameplay, like or combat, very combat heavy side versus the really puzzle faith based puzzle side. I think that's what it's so cool that it just trips me out. Just okay, you get two very different experiences from this. So that's the thing that stands out most for me.
Yeah.
Because I know you in terms of, I know it's not going to be like the infamous kind of, oh, you go good or evil, and it's kind of the same thing at the end of the game. Or like you were going to get that choice anyway at the end of the game kind of thing.
Doesn't
where
matter.
It's like, I know it's like, it is going to feel like two very different games, which is really cool. And then just, again, some of the things that we've talked about in terms of just ideas, in terms of what you would add and like what you would stumble across, just little things that aren't really part of the story but are also kind of part of the story just because they're environmentally there. Like
absolutely.
The hidden pieces from history, things like that, which is really cool.
And which is actually going to be part of that launch trailer.
Yeah,
the
is
story
it?
trailer. So we're going to really show.
Oh, I'm excited. Yeah, that's
show
what's
that
really
side
cool.
of it. It's going to be short, but it's going to be hopefully impactful.
So are you still driving with that? You're still running with that idea, like in terms of like
of the left and right?
No, like in terms of like the adding things, like
absolutely,
like Amelia Earhart's airplane, things like that, which is really cool. I think that's like
if you've heard of airplanes that are missing, like it's probably on this island. Titanic really didn't sink. It's like it's on this island somewhere. It's like
a dinosaur. Things like that.
Just that's what the whole world you're gonna explore. That again, explore, solve, survive. The more you explore, you're going to be able to solve by exploring things. And I want to have all those. To me, that's the most amazing like mysteries. And they're not going to just be everywhere. They're like, hey, if you go and you start looking, you're going to find stuff. And that's what that game. And then you'll realize why you're there, just like how these people ended up here.
Yeah.
And yeah, those two choices, those two paths. That's the key for me and for the gameplay. What makes it unique to answer that question? It's like. You're not just, oh, good and bad. It's like, no, you're going one path. It's a completely different game. It's weapons, inventory, items. You go another path. It's completely another game. Like it's two games in one that gives you two different paths. It's not just,
two very different experiences.
Yeah, it's two very different experiences. That's what we're trying to create, or I'm trying to create. I'm already thinking, but
yeah,
I'm trying to create with with what we're trying to do here. So
It's exciting.
that's it. Hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's anybody else on Twitter. I should have reached out a little earlier. That's my bad.
I just thought about this too. So it's kind
yeah.
of late too.
Yeah. 9:45. Bunch
Is
of
it
cowards.
really?
I'm up till like 3 every day. All right, yeah. I think that's about it in terms of questions. So, Nick, it's been a pleasure, man.
It's been a pleasure to be here.
It's been a pleasure,
Thank
man.
you.
I always enjoy talking to you, man.
Thank you.
Always, like I said, you're always welcome on, brother. Especially this coming year with the plans that we have.
Yes.
I have a very special episode planned for you that I think would be fascinating conversation.
Let's do it.
Talk to you about that a little
Okay.
afterward.
Let's do it.
After podcast. Sorry, guys.
Tombo, how you feeling?
I'm good.
You feeling inspired?
He's like,
I actually do.
no. It's like, give me a
You
beer.
Tombo.
Give me a
Where's
beer.
the pen?
Nah, yeah, I really feel inspired, especially since Nick. It's kind of like he started something, like you already been doing something, but it's like I want to start doing something for myself.
That
So
means a
like
lot,
something
man.
now, like kind of like lately, I kind of been like here and there, like just trying to motivate myself. But it's just like hearing him just say like what motivated him, or like him just doing it and just accepting the fact that yes, you're gonna fail and yes, you're gonna have negative comments. Like it's just part of it. It's just part of it. What's gonna make you great, and it's kind of like something that I'm gonna start. So which is why I'm starting my channel back up. As you guys know, there's only like 3 videos on there.
Yeah.
That is
Keep
probably
it
like
hustling, man.
out of
Keep it doing.
nowhere, like nothing. So I'm like totally in a like different path kind of thing, but we'll have a video up soon. So
Soon.
Just-
so
just expect
the big
it's-
thing is gonna be you. I mean, you want to say like what the big thing
So-
is in terms?
the big thing in term is, I really like lately. I really been feeling like down. Like I don't feel like myself. Like I love myself, but I don't love who I am. Like what I am. Like as in being big. Like as in accepting that yes, I'm obese. So it's kind of like I've been watching a lot of people as like they transform or they do their own story. But it's like you look at these videos and it's like they're already transformed. Like did you
They're
see
already
that?
at the end,
They're
yeah.
already at the end. Like there's nobody who's like has uploaded anything or just done anything where it's like they show you like what it is to go through it. Like everybody just says, oh yeah, I've been in it, like it was a year or 2 years, blah blah blah. Like I want to put it out there. Like I want to be able to like, since like Nick, like he wants to help people like, or the smaller like devs that want to like grow and all that. So I kind of want to do that. Like I want to just keep going and like eventually help people do something, like, you know, make a change, or, you know, it's not about, like you say, money or cars or whatever. It's about like helping others. I think that's a big thing that I've come to learn, that it's like if to help others, like it's
Yeah.
about like being there for other people. Like I want to change myself, so it's kind of like I really want to do it. Like that's why I said like 2019 is just gonna be like I really want to make it my year. Like that's when I want to start it. Like I just want to keep doing it. Like me and Mikey, I've been talking to him a lot. Like plans, what I want to do, what this and that. Like it's just I want to keep going up and running, and it's like it's great to hear like somebody else, a different story, a totally different thing. Like I know this is a gaming podcast, but it's like, you know, it's kind of same story. So it's like
So it relates.
it relates, and it's just I wanna get there somewhere down the future. Like, you know, just be somebody and, you know, make a change in somebody's
That
person.
weight loss journey
Yeah,
too.
just a weight loss journey. Like I initially I didn't want to just like turn my channel into like a fitness thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like it's not, because it's kind of just like, yes, I'm gonna be doing fitness thing, but I'm also gonna be putting like what other things we struggle in, or like what other things, you know, like mix it in, like just things that improve, or like things that I couldn't do, or like, you know, just experiences that, because, you know, like, yes, we're big, like, but you know, at times we can't just do everything. Like, you know, we just stick to what we could do, or like what we're comfortable with. We want to stay in our shell, which is just kick back and eat.
Yeah.
Well, I could definitely say that before probably high school, dude, I was like, or middle school, I was like the fattest, freaking unfit, like slob person. I still feel
Italian, man.
yeah,
they
like
feed you over
like
there.
my elbows were barely showing. Like I was just like so bad and out of shape. And then one day I just told myself, I was just like, dude, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I knew I had to go I know we're changing subjects, but
no,
like,
again, the conversational podcast.
I knew I had to change stuff. So for me to tell you the same thing, it's like, dude, just start. It's like literally, like you guys might have some stuff planned in January. It's like tonight, put your freaking phone horizontal and like film yourself doing 5 push-ups and being like, I just did my 5 today. Tomorrow you do 6. Next day you do 6 again. You do 6. Yeah, like I just told myself in high school, I was like, dude, I'm in middle school. I was just like made fun of. I hated how I felt. And I was just like, I'm done. Like every day I'm going to go play basketball because it was like fun for me to just throw the ball. And I kept doing that and doing that and doing that. And then whole summer I did that literally every day. I was like, I don't care if it was 10 o'clock at night. I was like, I'm going to go play basketball or I'm going to go for like a 3-minute jog somewhere. Like I did it. And then before I knew it, I got to the other where I was trying to go to. So to encourage you, it's like, dude, you don't even have to go this big. Like just go. Like
exactly. That's
I did my 5 push-ups today. Check.
That's a big.
Like that's all you have to do.
That's honestly a big thing, and it's like I thank you for that because it's like, when I've always said like I want to lose weight, and it's like everybody like, and I'm gonna tell you like a lot of people out there, if you're listening to this and like say you're big or whatever, everybody has this in their life where they're like I want to do it, and they'll do it for a week or two, and then it's just like I'm over it.
Consistency.
Like I'm done. But it's like. How you said like you gotta just strap up the boots and just do it like and when I've tried it I feel like how you said like I should just do just simple like I'm honestly like when I start this like I want to start from the beginning. I don't want to like I feel like at times when I wanted to lose weight I would expect myself to do things that I couldn't but it's like I started in the beginning like honestly like during the podcast when you were talking I was literally thinking about a time where like I was like losing weight. And, like, I wanted the things to, like, go quick. Like, I was literally in the gym one time. Like honestly, I was sitting on one of those bikes, and I was riding it. And I rode, I think, for, like, 13 miles. I don't know why, but I just thought, like, I'm going to just ride. Like, oh, I'm getting healthy, blah, blah, blah. But it's, like, at times, it's, like, you don't need to bike 13 miles. There's, like, so many little things that you could do that just, if you just keep doing those little things, you start building. And that's when, like, you start getting things moving. That's when you start seeing change. That's when you start seeing this. So it's kind of like,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm changing my gears up of how I look at things, and it's kind of like it's for my health also because I feel like I've seen a lot of pictures of like how like heart look with like when you're obese of like all the fat around it, and I thought about a saying. I was like, if your heart's working like that hard to just stay alive, like why can't I put the work for it? Like so I could So if my heart could put like the 2 times amount of effort to do it, why can't I put that into working out to make myself healthier? Yeah. So like initially I want to work as much as my heart is doing and put that much of heart into my work as much of heart you put into your game.
No, yeah.
So it's kind of like a thing. It's kind of like I've honestly like 2019 like I really wanted to be like
you're gonna do it, man.
I have so many things going on, like it's kind of like I'm ready for it, and I'm ready to hear these negatives, bro. Like if I hear from somebody, I'm gonna listen to all of it. Like how you said, I'm gonna read these comments 2 times because it's like I could do it, but at the same time, I'm listening to these negative things, but I could be changing somebody else's, clicking it together because like you listen and you learn at the same time. So it's kind of like as I learn from you, it might be a different subject, but it's the same concept.
Exactly.
No, yeah, and I think on top of just to kind of polish what I was trying to say is like you doing this, me going through like massive stage and like losing weight actually changed my life because it helped not even in the physical form. It changed stuff internally because it taught me how to go. If I didn't probably lose that weight, I would have probably never made this game, to be honest, because it taught me how to go, oh, I need to do this much and this much to get to this point. And then you do that much. It's like, it taught me how to set goals and stages, even if they were this big, because eventually those little bricks become a house. Yeah. It's like you put 2-3 bricks down, they look like 2-3 bricks. But when you put 1,000 up, you have a wall.
Exactly. And you're not going to put 2-3 bricks down overnight to build a house. Yeah. It's going to take time.
You got it, man.
It all takes time. So it's kind of like, I'm just going to.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to keep going at it, and I'm going to bang it out one day.
You're already doing it, man.
Keep it going.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's happening tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight.
It's going down. So by the time you guys are listening, I'll probably have my video up on my channel.
Yeah.
So
That's exciting. All right.
you know,
Tambo
Go
Vlogs
ahead,
coming
yep.
back. Tambo Vlogs. Go subscribe over at Tambo Vlogs. Go support Nick and his Kickstarter.
Right now.
Yeah, link
Right
down
now.
below for both of those things, so you can
$1,
go
$2,
do those.
$3.
Like I said, and if you can't give, a retweet's
Retweet
free.
it. If you're retweeting those, retweet or you'll get bad luck for 5 years. You better retweet.
Yeah, you gotta. It's one of those.
You gotta. If I know, like most of you guys have retweeted those, retweet or you'll get bad luck with like a broken arm to the back or whatever. Just if you could retweet that,
You can
retweet Nick
retweet-
Apollo's
Yeah, Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
And all my
you gotta do
info is
that.
there. So if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, it's all on the Kickstarter. Search Adams Ascending.
You
all
can
right
follow
there.
Nick, the Italian Stallion, at
I actually should change that.
DiPaolo.
Right there. I'm going to do it right now. Italian style.
You can follow Tambo Vlogs at Tambo Vlogs. And you can follow me at
Do it.
Cheeks_Junior. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. It's been good. This is a good post-Christmas podcast. All the festivities are done.
You ate your
All
food.
the family fighting's done.
Punching
You're done.
people. You're all set.
Yeah, exactly. So
Now go support Adams Ascending.
go
That's,
support Adams
That's
Ascending.
your next thing. Come
That's
on.
the biggest thing. Spread the word.
Spread the
share.
love.
Spread the love. Guys, thank you for listening to Completely Consensual on Chiptooth Gaming. Until next time, players, I'm Mike Doherty, and you're watching Completely Consensual.